Greg Zuerlein, the Rams kicker, approaches, kicks it off, and here we go from Los Angeles. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line.
Conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
A nice move gets him a few extra. Down just shy of his 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Tiger!
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On 1st and goal, Gurley. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over the game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
3rd and goal, Gurley. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now?
And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they'll throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Well, the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Ryan drops it off for Coleman. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Returnable here from the 38. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over.
Super 66.
On first down, it's Gurley. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And just shedding him off there. He gets it to Gurley, complete. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards it.
To throw on second down is gone. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. And it's 3rd and short. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
The throw is gone. And he comes back with one complete. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. A shotgun snap for gone. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. No gain on the play there, second down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Coleman now. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. Now Ryan. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. Rolling to his right. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Coleman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, Ryan. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. This is taken at the 18. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Now, the Los Angeles Rams, they continue to be a great story this season. A solid team. That wonderful start, although they did lose Week 9, obviously, to New Orleans. So the 72 Dolphins celebrated again.
Yeah, they got a chance to hug it out and still be the last team to go undefeated in modern football. 17-0 that team was, but let's face it, no one shedding any tears for the Rams after that loss to New Orleans. They still have weapons galore on offense, a stout defensive front led by Aaron Donald, leading their division. They're aiming for the playoffs, and as all their moves in the offseason and during the season, picking up Dante Fowler Jr. to rush the passer, they're shooting for the Super Bowl.
Changing topics here for just a second to look ahead to our Thanksgiving slate. You got Chicago and Detroit early, but then, of course, Dallas late. And it's a rivalry game. They host Washington.
Yeah, and how great is that we're going to get that one on Thanksgiving because they've given us some memorable ones throughout the years. And it's always interesting to hear just how intense this rivalry is, even in today's NFL. I've talked to guys who have played for both Dallas and Washington, And they always say it's such a struggle when they hear they have to go to the other team. No matter what the circumstances, that's the one team that you don't want to go play for. And they always say it's very strange to put on that other uniform.
Whoever wins that game, the turkey will taste a lot better in the locker room after. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Justin Hardy deep for Atlanta. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Falcons coming back out here onto the field. This has been a team that's had an interesting season. The rough start, then they picked it up some. As you look in your crystal ball going forward down the stretch, what do you see for the Falcons?
Well, I think on the surface you would think the injuries are just too much to overcome on the defensive side of the ball. But the way they've been playing recently, they put everything on the offense and just asking the defense to do just enough. And the offense is really giving them great play because Matt Ryan can throw to Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, the rookie Calvin Ridley, Tevin Coleman and Ito Smith running it and catching it. They're starting to put up points in big numbers and making people chase them each and every game. And
they may want to start to pad some wins now because 3 of their last 4 in the regular season are on the road, including trips to Green Bay and Carolina. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Falcons on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Now it's Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken around the 12. He spins free. Shifts by him. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
17.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Ryan. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Final play of the half. It's Ryan going up top. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So they grabbed the lead just before half with a clock reading 0-0-0.
How about snatching things right at the end and grabbing a little bit of control. What a great way to go into the locker room. It's similar to a boxer flurrying in the last 30 seconds of a round and stealing the round. Great job.
So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. This fielded at the 2. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On second down, here's Goff. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First target, first catch, and a first down. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. On the handoff, it's Gurley. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Another carry now for Gurley. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
17.
From the gun, here's Goff. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley from 13 yards out. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go play action now. Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
This is Coleman, and this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. Charles, I want to go in a different direction for a second, talk about Le'Veon Bell, because the November 13th report date has come and gone. He's still not with the Steelers. Now, the good news, though, Le'Veon Bell not there, but James Conner has been good in his stead.
He certainly has, and we have to think now that maybe we won't see Le'Veon Bell in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, ever again. And that's for another day. He's not there. You just hit it, though. James Conner. This Pittsburgh team has really elevated its game around James Conner, playing awfully well. He's playing well. And I think there's a certain sense when you watch them that they all want to prove something to Le'Veon Bell, that they can play well without him. And so far, it's working.
And James Conner, he's an easy guy to root for. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Back now in Los Angeles. 7-7 is our score. Pretty even matchup so far as we start quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd man to go with that run.
Wide open receiver complete. 1st down L.A. Goff finding Higbee.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Goff now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10.
11.
Now a handoff for Gurley. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
5.
Again they run with Gurley. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. Out of the gun. Gone. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And Zerline's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
To throw on 2nd down. Ryan finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, that's Coleman, and he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ryan, he's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. On 3rd down, it's Coleman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the 1st.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You still got it.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Dante Fowler in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. The Falcons on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd down and 12. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. Past the 20. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout, as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
There we go.
Here's Coleman. And he'll be brought down short of the 15, but a really good move on the run. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. The Falcons on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4. They will run again with Coleman. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. And Bryant's kick is good. And that moves them up by a touchdown now at 17-10. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a